Sarah gripped the steering wheel. Miles of empty highway stretched ahead. Her headlights cut through the thick darkness. 2 in the morning. The digital clock glowed accusingly. She should have left earlier. A chill ran down her spine. Goosebumps prickled her arms. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the hum of her old car's engine. She turned up the radio, searching for a human voice. Static. The road curved ahead, disappearing into a wall of trees. Their branches, skeletal in the headlights, seemed to reach out like grasping claws. Sarah shivered, pushing down a rising sense of dread. She forced herself to focus on the road. A light rain began to fall, tapping softly at first, then growing more insistent. The wipers swished back and forth, a hypnotic rhythm against the growing darkness. The hair on the back of Sarah's neck stood on end. A presence, unexplained. She glanced nervously in the rearview mirror. Just the empty road, glistening black under the rain. But the feeling persisted. Someone, or something, was watching her. She rolled up her window, even though it was already closed. Irrational. A soft whisper seemed to come from the back seat. Sarah jumped, heart pounding. She turned quickly, scanning the empty space behind her. Nothing. Just her imagination. She tried to laugh it off, but the sound caught in her throat. The rain intensified, pounding against the windshield with a relentless fury. The world outside blurred into an impressionist painting of light and shadow, making it hard to see. The car skidded slightly on the slick asphalt, the tires struggling for grip. Sarah's grip tightened on the steering wheel, her knuckles turning white. She eased off the gas pedal, slowing down to gain better control of the car. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the headlights, emerging from the darkness. A man, tall and shadowy, stood by the side of the road, barely visible through the downpour. He was drenched, his clothes plastered to his thin frame, shivering in the cold rain. He raised a hand, thumb extended in a silent plea for a ride. Sarah hesitated, unsure of what to do. It was late and the storm was getting worse, making the decision even harder. But something about the man unnerved her. A feeling she couldn't shake off. His face was lost in the shadows, but his eyes seemed to burn with an unnatural intensity, piercing through the darkness. An internal alarm bell screamed at her to drive on, urging her to leave the mysterious figure behind. The crash. She pressed down on the gas pedal, accelerating past the hitchhiker. She didn't look back, her mind racing as fast as the car. Her heart hammered in her chest, a frantic drumbeat against her ribs. The fear was palpable, almost suffocating. A wave of relief washed over her as she put some distance between herself and the figure. She thought she was safe, but the night had other plans. A blood-curdling scream pierced the night, shattering the fragile sense of security she had just begun to feel. Sarah slammed on the brakes, the car skidding dangerously on the wet road. She fought to regain control, her knuckles white on the steering wheel. Her heart leaped into her throat. The scream, it echoed in her ears, a haunting reminder of the danger she was in. It had come from inside the car. She turned slowly, dread pooling in her stomach. She turned, her blood turning to ice. The realization hit her like a freight train. The back seat, empty just moments before, was now occupied. She could hardly believe her eyes. The man sat there, his eyes burning into hers with a malevolent intensity. His presence was overwhelming, suffocating. His lips curled into a grotesque smile, revealing rows of sharp, pointed teeth. Then, everything went black. The nightmare had only just begun. Never drive alone. It's a rule that many have heard, but few truly understand until it's too late. When the police arrived, they found the car abandoned, its headlights still piercing through the thick fog. The driver's side door was open, and there were skid marks leading off the road as if the car had come to a sudden screeching halt. But Sarah was gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind an unsettling mystery. The only clue was her phone, lying on the passenger seat, open to a news article that seemed to hold a dark secret. The headline read, "Local man killed in hit-and-run accident on Highway 13. A chilling coincidence or a sinister connection?" The accompanying photo showed the victim, a man whose face seemed to tell 1,000 stories. A tall, thin man with haunted eyes that seemed to follow you wherever you went. The same man Sarah had seen on the side of the road, just moments before she disappeared. The same man who was never identified, his identity forever shrouded in mystery. Some say Sarah is still out there, driving the lonely highways late at night, her spirit forever restless. a spectral chauffeur, forever searching for someone to pick up the unseen passenger in her back seat, a ghostly figure that haunts her every journey. A chilling reminder that some roads are best left untraveled, especially alone. So next time you find yourself on a deserted highway, remember Sarah's story and think twice before driving alone.